Well, folks, it's Cowboy Star coming back at you. Let me brace myself for this. Yeah, it's time. It's that time again, folks, where I got to bring something out of the archives and play it for y'all once again. Not again, again. Here it is.
Well, what happened was that second game, we got our ass kicked. Or the second half, we just got our ass totally kicked. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. The second half, we sucked. We couldn't stop the run. Every time they got the ball and went down and got points, we got our ass totally kicked in the second half. That's what it boiled down to. It was a horse performance in the second half. I'm totally embarrassed and totally ashamed. Coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked in that second half. It sucked. It stunk. Okay. Well, what happened?
Well, that pretty much sums it up, folks. I couldn't put that in words any better than that. The Cowboys totally stunk it up last night against MVP favorite in my book, Brock Purdy. That kid looked like Joe Montana in his 8th or 9th year out there. He's yet to lose a regular season game. He's 10-0. Brock Purdy, 10-0. Dak's been at this for 8 years. And this is the third time in a row he cannot beat Brock Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant. Well, he's anything but Mr. Irrelevant right now, the way he's playing. But that rant by Jim Mora, I love it because it totally describes what happened to the Cowboys last night. They couldn't do diddly poo, as he says. And that's true. The Cowboys are who we thought they were all along. They've been pulling the wool over our eyes with all this talk about being the number one defense and Micah Parsons talking, and he just can't keep his mouth shut. He's just talking about this and talking about that, how they're the best defense. And just shut up, Micah. Just go out there and do your job. Your name wasn't even mentioned last night. You know why? Because the 49ers, they stopped you. You couldn't do what you normally want to do out there. And the linebackers for the 49ers on defense were amazing. They were just amazing. Greenlaw and Werner, I mean, they were everywhere on the field. The Cowboys couldn't get a screen pass off, couldn't get the running game going. And I'm fixing to get break down Dak's performance. That's a whole nother show, but I'm going to go ahead and go over that in just a minute. I'm so tired of Dak, one thing, saying that he didn't see it coming. How could you not see it coming? You know the 49ers have a great defense. Did you think you were just going to roll out there on the field and just execute your offense up and down the field on them? No. And I blame a lot of it. It's not all Dak's fault, but I blame a lot of it on Dak because he had 3 interceptions. He was just throwing the ball into double and triple coverage. And that ball, he was trying to force it to Cooks. But Cooks wasn't open. Nobody was open, it seemed like. And that has a lot to do with the fact that they didn't respect our running game. They knew they could just pin their ears back. Dak didn't have a whole lot of time. And he's really slow about getting rid of the ball in the first place. But you didn't see Brock Purdy doing that. It was 1, 2, 3 step drop, zoom, the ball was gone. And you can say he doesn't have an arm and he doesn't have this and doesn't have that. But I'll tell you one thing, he sure zipped the ball to his receivers on time and accurate. Dak is not very accurate. At best, Dak is an average quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He's not a good quarterback. He's just in the middle. And he's never going to get us. You might can make the playoffs as we've done in the past, but to get to that next level, you've got to have a great quarterback. And I'll tell you what, Brock Purdy, he can take them to the Super Bowl, no problem. He can take 49ers to the Super Bowl, no problem. And he's not a big guy. He's only about 6 foot, 6'1", and he just tore our ass up. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just looking at a few stats from last night, give you an idea of the total domination. In first downs, the 49ers had 25, the Cowboys had 8. Time of possession, 49ers 37, Cowboys 23. And that's the two most obvious stats. I'm not going to sit here and go over every single stat. I had to watch the all 22 before I did this video because I didn't want to have no stone unturned. I wanted to know exactly what happened. And I could pretty much tell without even watching it all 22, but it was just total domination on the part of the 49ers. The Cowboys, it was like a man amongst boys out there. And the Cowboys got a lot of work to do to even get near to the level of the 49ers. Number one, our play calling is antiquated and old and stale. We looked tired, stale, and antiquated out there on the field versus the play calling of Kyle Shanahan. I mean, that flea flicker play that the 49ers executed to perfection, that was beautiful. I mean, it was like a reverse flea flicker that their running back ended up, when he got the ball from the receiver on the reverse, flipped it to Purdy, and he threw it down the field to the tight end. I mean, he was wide open. I mean, it was beautiful. Why the Cowboys don't try stuff like that? We've got the receivers for it, and but there's no deception in our offense. It's almost like they know what we're fixing to call, the next play. A lot of over the middle plays, trying to 3 receivers going across the middle, trying to fool them like that and try to set a pick. That's not working. That's stuff that Green Bay ran 10, 12 years ago when McCarthy was calling plays back for Aaron Rodgers. So they got to go back to the drawing board on these play calling. I thought it was just in the red zone, but it's not. It's total play calling. The play calling. They got rid of Kellen Moore, and now he's calling plays for the quarterback over there for the Chargers, who we play next week, by the way. It's mind-boggling. I mean, just looking at that game, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I was embarrassed. I know they've got to be embarrassed. The defense of the Cowboys was totally dominated. We were so worried about McCaffrey running the ball down our throats, we forgot about George Kittle, and he went off on us. He hadn't done hardly anything the whole year. What's he do? He gets well against the Cowboys. 3 touchdowns. He gets in the end zone on that last one. He goes, 3 touchdowns. He made 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys. And it always looked like the Cowboys' defensive backs had no clue what they were doing. I mean, they were so far out of position. They had them so fooled and duped by the scheme that they were just, like I said, it's embarrassing. As a fan, a longtime fan of the Cowboys, I thought we were better than that. But obviously, we got a lot of work to do, and we're nowhere near the category. And I want to make this clear. We are nowhere near the category of the 49ers. They are way out of our league. They offensively and defensively. Like I said, Purdy has a 10-game perfect winning streak in the regular season as a quarterback of the 49ers. And the 49ers could have looked like idiots in this thing. But Purdy saved their ass because they drafted the quarterback the Cowboys acquired, Trey Lance in the draft and gave up the whole farm for him, and he didn't pan out. But thank God they drafted Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, to save their ass, because they traded Lance to the Cowboys. I wouldn't mind seeing Lance. If we get a couple more losses like this, I would not mind letting Trey Lance start the rest of the season, just to see what we got, just to see what he can do. He can't do no worse, you know. So we'll see what happens. But the O line, all I heard for the last couple of weeks, oh, this would be the first time the Cowboys starting offensive line will be together since Tyler Smith was drafted. And they got dealt with. They just got manhandled. I mean, Michael was a no factor in this game. We got no pressure on Purdy. The only time we touched Purdy's hand was in the opening toss of the game. No one touched him. It's unreal. It's like he throws the ball sometime and it looks like he's throwing it away, and somehow, some way, it falls right down the chimney into the receiver that he's throwing to his hands for a 40-yard gain. And what really broke the Cowboys' back is they threw a long pass to Brandon Ayuk, and it was called back. What's he do on the very next play? Throws a 40-yard completion on 3rd down and 23 to the receiver down the field for a first down. I mean, it's like we couldn't cover anybody. It's like I don't understand. I don't see why the Cowboys. It looked like we didn't even practice for this game. Like I said, the offense looked slow, timid, not prepared. The play calling did not help Dak either. Like I said, the play calling was terrible. We were calling plays that weren't even productive, weren't even getting us down the field. We only scored one touchdown on a long pass to Turpin in the corner of the end zone, which was kind of a fluky play. Can't say enough about Purdy. He got the ball out quick. He was very accurate. He can read and process the defense so quick. I mean, and that's something that Dak still has yet mastered. He cannot process the defenses quick enough. It's like he's a deer in the headlights out there sometime against a good team. Now, against these mediocre teams, Daniel Jones and Giants and, teams like that, yeah, he can beat them all day long. But the key to the NFL is you gotta beat the big dogs, man. In order to get to where you want to get, you've got to beat the good team. And the Cowboys aren't going to do that with Dak Prescott. I just don't see it happening. I keep trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and it just never, ever works out. And I'm picking Purdy to be, as the early favorite, I'm picking him as the MVP of the NFL. If he keeps playing like this, unless somebody somehow brings him down to earth, which I don't see happening, that offensive is stellar. That offense of the 49ers is stellar. They've got a great coach, great play calling, great creativity. It's everything. They're everything I wish the Cowboys could be. And I don't think they're going to get there with an older coach like Mike McCarthy. He's not a bad coach. He's a decent coach, but he can win in a lot of games in the regular season. They still may make the playoffs. I don't know, but we got a hard schedule ahead. We still got to play the Chargers. We got to play the Rams. We got to play the Philadelphia twice. We play Buffalo. We play Miami. Washington twice. I mean, these Giants another time. We play Carolina, and we play one other kind of weak team. I can't remember. Oh, we play Detroit. Detroit's no slouch. It's not going to be easy. The Cowboys, it's not going to be easy. I see a lot of losses in that schedule still if they're playing like this. So That's pretty much all I got. Very disappointing. I kind of had a feeling we may not win that game, especially it being in prime time and being in San Francisco, but I just never dreamt we'd lose 42-10. That was unacceptable on all levels. The Cowboys blow my mind on so many levels, the way they play. But if anything else breaks, you know how we do. We always get on here and report it. We'll get back on here, but leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate it. Cowboys lay an egg against the 49ers, 42-10. We'll catch you later. I'm out. Peace.